guys, welcome back to Our Texas Homestead. Today we're going to make bread. It's a Amish white bread, and I am horrible at making bread. It burns every time, but I actually can make this one. So,
That was facts, people. That was facts. She was terrible. Love her to death. But she actually makes this really well.
my cousin sent me this recipe, and I tried it the next weekend. So now this is going to be our bread recipe. So let me bring you down here. So you need a cup of milk and a cup of water, and you want it to be right about 110 degrees. Let me grab a whisk.
Need up one
And then you're going to add in 1/3 of a cup of sugar. It says 2/3 cup, and it says you can cut it in half, and the 2/3 cup was too sweet for us, so I cut it in half. You want to dissolve the sugar. Then you're going to add in, it's 1.5 tablespoons of yeast, but it equals out to just a packet. And you want to make sure it's not expired, because expired yeast doesn't work. I tried that too. And then if you want, you can add in a pinch of ginger. It's supposed to help activate the yeast, but you don't have to do that part. And then you're just going to whisk that together a little bit, and then let it just sit there for 5 to 10 minutes to start getting foamy. So I'll bring you back after that. Okay, so our yeast has gotten foamy. So now we're going to add in a cup of flour, stir that in there. Thank you. And then we're going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I just have a 1/2 teaspoon of measuring spoon, so 3 of them. And then a 1/4 cup of oil. It says vegetable oil or coconut oil or butter. I got coconut oil and melted it, and you want it to be 110 degrees. Just stir all that in. And now we're gonna let the mixer do all the rest of the work. Put the dough hook on. And then you want it to go real slow, and you're going to add in 4 or 4.5 cups of flour. Just depends on what you think you need. Once the flour's kind of got in there a little bit, you can speed it up. you can tell it's all pretty much pulled away from the bowl. So now you're going to knead it for 5 more minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. So we're going to take off the dough hook. And then you want an oiled bowl to put it in. So I usually have a cutting board out, and I don't. Let me get a cutting board. So I just use the same bowl so I don't have to do more dishes. So we're just gonna spray some oil in there and then put the dough back in the bowl. And then cover it with a damp rag and let it rise for an hour. I put the oven on proof and let it rise in there, or you could just turn the light on, or if your house is warm enough, you could just leave it sitting on the counter. So I'll bring you back in an hour when it's risen and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I just took the dough out of the oven. It's risen. So I'm gonna spray my bread pans before I forget. Okay, now we're gonna take the dough and we're gonna smush it down, and then we can take it out and put it on a floured surface. And I'm gonna go melt 2 tablespoons of butter before my hands get totally dirty. And then we're going to knead this for 5 minutes. I'm going to put a little bit more flour on here. Okay, actually it was kneaded for 3 minutes, and now we're going to let it set for 5 minutes, and then we'll divide it out. Yep. So we'll let it sit for 5 more minutes, and then we'll come in and divide it into the 2 loaves. So it's done resting, so we're just going to divide it into 2 loaves. And then just kind of tuck everything up under there. And then put it in our greased pan. Do the same thing with the other one. And put it in our other greased pan. And then we're just going to brush the tops with some melted butter. And then we're going to let it rise again for 30 minutes. So I'm going to pop it back in the oven on proof, and I'll bring you back in a little bit. So here's what our loaves looked like before we put them in the oven. I got the oven heated up to 350. So now they're gonna bake for 30 minutes. And it says they're done when you tap on them. You know, it's when they sound hollow when you tap on them. So I'm gonna set the timer for 30 minutes and bring you back. Oh, that was 3 minutes. That won't work. And bring you back when it's all done. So our bread's done. It's got a nice golden brown. It's been out of the oven for like 10 minutes. So I'm gonna put it on a wire rack to finish cooling. And I'm gonna brush it with a little bit more butter. So to store it, it says to wrap it in plastic wrap or aluminum foil, and it'll store for like 3 days on the counter, or you can freeze it for, I think it said like 6 months. So let me get Mike over here and we'll cut a piece and try it. Okay, so here's what it looks like when you cut into it. Got some nice little air holes in it. You want half of this one?
Yep.
So you don't have to eat the crust.
So you don't have to eat the crust? Mm-hmm. So yeah, looks nice, fluffy, still nice and warm. Mm-hmm. Really good. This is like some of the best bread I've ever had. And as she said at the beginning of the video, yeah, she's rough with breads, but this one here really came out good, and everybody in the family likes it. Be great for sandwiches.
Yep. So, hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time.